Hey fam, welcome back. In this video, we have our reviews roundup for our Shop My Stash scavenger hunt brand, bareMinerals. So if you are interested in finding out my thoughts on all the bareMinerals products that we pulled from my stash, go ahead and stay tuned. We're gonna get into it right now. Okay y'all, so before we get into the products, I want to apologize for being so late with these reviews. It has been wildin' on Joy's Beauty Jones, especially with all these fantastic collab videos I've been able to be a part of. I wanted to get my Black owned makeup brands video up. I've had so much I've wanted to share with you guys that unfortunately my scheduled content had to be a little bit on the back burner for a second, but we are back, girl. We are back and we have some reviews. I know bareMinerals is not the most popular brand. I don't hear about them a ton. I don't see their products in a ton of videos. And I had a lot in my collection that I really just wanted to take a moment to go through, see how I felt about the products, see what I might be able to move out of my collection to make room, and just to see if I might be sleeping on some hidden gems. So let's jump into it. The first two products I want to talk about are the bareMinerals liquid foundations I had in my collection. First is the bareMinerals Bare Pro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. This foundation I think would be fantastic if you love high coverage and you have oily skin. I hate high coverage and I have dry skin. So if you had a chance to check out my Life's a Beach collab, you will notice at the end of the video I have applied my makeup and you will see how crusty and dusty this looks on my skin.
And I'm getting mighty tired of your traveling ways.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me.
While I really like the formula, I just don't think I'm the best candidate for this product. The bareMinerals Bare Skin Pure Brightening Serum Foundation is a lot more up my alley in terms of the formula. The formula is very serum-like and it's very liquidy. I just want to show you guys a bit of a comparison. This is the performance wear. And this is the serum. So you see what a lighter coverage that has? It's kind of oily and then this one's really thick. And you see kind of the coverage between the two. So what I tried doing subsequently after using the Bare Pro by itself was mixing these two foundations together. And I did find that I liked the foundation much better when I mixed them. The serum kind of broke down the thick formula of the high coverage or performance wear foundation. And it made it much easier to blend. It didn't look as dusty on my face or as dry. However, I have so many foundations in my collection that I don't want to keep around two that don't quite work for me, that only kind of work when they're mixed together. I don't think they're a bad formula. I have absolutely no shade for bareMinerals. I just think getting these products to work for me might be a little bit too much work, given everything I need to get through before it expires. So I'm very happy to be able to pass both of these foundations along to family and friends. The next two products I want to talk about are the powders. So I have the bareMinerals Original Foundation in Fair. I also have the Mineral Veil Finishing Powder. These powders were not favorites of mine, and there's a good reason for that. This product is a fantastic product if you like powder foundations. My niece loves this foundation. She swears that this is the only foundation she's ever tried that does not break her out. I didn't love this just because I only really use powder to set my foundation. And when I did that, it did give me even more coverage, which is great if you're looking for high coverage. But for someone like me that kind of enjoys my imperfections kind of coming through my foundation and just a bit of a lighter application, I didn't love this. The finishing powder is meant to be used as a last step to the powder foundation. I did use this once to blend out my nose contour and it was okay. But these take up a lot of room in my powder drawer and they're not ones I've really ever reached for until this week. Because my niece already loves this foundation, I feel wrong just holding on to something I'm not even using and don't even really want when she could get so much more use out of this. I believe she just has a small container. This is massive. This is one of their holiday releases, so I am so excited to pass these along to her. I know she will love them and use them, and they will be much better in her collection than in mine, so I will be passing these along as well. Because I didn't really care for any of those products, I actually have a different foundation on today for this video. I have the Lancome Skin Feels Good foundation, which I have been madly in love with. This is like right up my alley. It's fantastic. I have this on my skin today. It's a bit of a lighter coverage. It's very moisturizing. It's easy to apply. It's very comfortable. It sits perfectly on my skin and it's so easy to use. Highly, highly, highly recommend. This also has SPF 23, which is fantastic for summer. And I can't stay away from you. I don't want to let you go. Y'all, I cannot put this powder down. I love this powder. This is the brand new Mented powder that I just picked up for my Black Owned Makeup Brands video, and I cannot get enough. It is fabulous. I use the smallest amount, dust it around my face. I've never been a fan of setting powder all over my face until this powder. I love it. I love it with my whole heart. Fabulous. I have this on today too. Sorry, I have goosebumps. I love this so much. Anyway, back to bareMinerals. My entire purpose in choosing this brand was because I wanted to test this palette out a bit more. So I was very confused when I first bought this product because I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to do with it. I thought it might have been a highlighting palette. I was confused. I was hearing weird information about it. I just have kind of not really done a whole lot with it since I picked it up. I did get to try this today. I have been so swamped with other products. I just didn't get a chance to really dedicate the time to this palette that I wanted to dedicate to it. So I want to continue to use this product. I did use the darker brown bronzer on my nose today for contour, and it worked pretty well. I have decided to hang on to this for a while longer, even though I didn't get to try it, because of another product I tried that has a very similar formula that I have fallen madly in love with. So I am gonna hang on to this. I really like the formula. I'm gonna keep playing with it. I also really like this yellow powder. It's got like a little bit of a sheen, but it really helped me to kind of blend out my highlight today, and I found that really helpful. So I want to keep tinkering with this one. I think it could be a hidden gem. This was a holiday palette from years ago. You may be able to still find this at TJ Maxx here or there. I don't believe it's any longer sold on their website, but I really did enjoy the fact that this is more mineral based. It's just a lighter application, but it's so smooth and blendable. I want to keep trying this product out. Two more products that I tried were the Invisible Bronze and the Invisible Glow from bareMinerals. This product is actually discontinued, which was probably the silliest thing bareMinerals could have ever done. It is so good. It is so good. Oh my gosh, I have not been able to stop using this bronzer. I love it. I don't even want to take it out of my stash. It is fantastic. I have that on today too. It's so smooth and blendable. There's no muddiness. It's fabulous. A lot of people have loved this bronzer, and I don't know why they discontinued it. It's such a winning product. It's so good. So if you can ever find this at TJ Maxx, girl, grab it. You will thank me. In terms of the Invisible Glow, this is another similar like baked product like the bronzer. It's very reminiscent of like a hourglass type product. I had considered decluttering this just because it is so subtle. I do have this on today. You can see that it is giving me some shine, but it's such a subtle highlighter, and I don't typically go for that. I either won't highlight, or I'll use a glowy blush or a glowy bronzer, or I typically want to highlight and I want it to have a little bit of something on my face. This is so soft. However, I do think that there's a place in my collection for a subtle highlight. I know that there is an Essence, I think it's called like Pure Nude, an Essence highlighter that people really love. I don't own that, but I already have this. So I think I'm gonna let this live in my collection for a while longer and see if I can get more use out of it. And if I don't, I will pass it along. Another product that I tried, jumping back into base products, is the bareMinerals Primetime Original Foundation Primer. This I actually really like. It is super duper slippery. It reminds me a little bit of the Black Radiance primer that I love so much. If it hadn't been tinted and I could have kept using it, it had such a great slip. This has a great slip. It isn't my favorite. It isn't my least favorite. I did not get an opportunity to try my little glowy blush this week. I just didn't have time to really play with cream products very much. But this is my little Joy liquid highlighter. It's not going anywhere. Even if I hated it, I would keep it. Its name is Joy. Like, I can't not. And I have used this in the past and I did like it. So I really wish I would have gotten a little bit more use out of this, and I wish I could have done a look with it as well this week. But it just gives me another excuse to reach for it. When I'm doing more cream products, I do think it's really pretty. It makes me happy that its name is Joy, and it's got a place in my collection. The bareMinerals Gen Nude blushes, I don't even think I need to talk about. These are so good. I don't even know if anybody doesn't know that these are good. If you don't know that these are good, these are great. I used to have two other ones in my collection that were a little bit more peachy and coral. I have passed them along only because I wasn't reaching for them as often and I was running out of room. So I wanted to keep the formula around, and I chose my two favorites, which is that peach though and Let's Go Nude. So I have Let's Go Nude on my face today. This is probably my favorite nude blush at the moment. It is so pretty. I really, really love it. This is a great little peachy blush, but I hadn't reached for them in a little bit. I'm really glad I retested them this week. I love this formula. Highly recommend. If you can find these at TJ Maxx and you find a color that you love, I would absolutely grab it. This is a fantastic formula. The bareMinerals Bare Pro Concealer, I didn't get as much use out of as I was hoping to get. I did use it for a couple spot corrections on my face, and I have seen Pony, who is a Korean beauty YouTuber. She's fabulous. I saw a bareMinerals video with her using this, which I already decided right then. I'm like, oh yeah, seeing how Pony uses it, I want this in my collection. This is super creamy and soft and easy to blend. I have not given it the under eye test, but I did give it the face spot test, and I do really like this. I absolutely want to keep this. And I will continue to try this, see how it looks under the eyes, and see what I think about it. The bareMinerals Bare Skin Concealer I really did like. I used this a couple times this week. I have it on today. This is a super serum-y moisturizing formula. I really like it. There's not like a dry anything to this concealer. It's not the most blurring of my fine lines. Some concealers do a much better job at that, but this is so comfortable to wear. It's easy to reach for. It blends out beautifully. It feels moisturizing and comfortable. It feels nourishing on my skin. So I really like this. I'm so glad I listened to Priscilla and picked it up during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I really have enjoyed using it this week. I absolutely want to reach for this one again. Then I had two eyeshadow palettes to try. I had the Copper palette and the Latte palette. This is what the Copper palette looks like. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this color story, this formula, nothing. It's a nice 6-pan palette for those of you that like a smaller color story. You just want something that's going to be easy, where everything's going to work together, where you're not overwhelmed by tons of shadows, and you just have something that you know is going to work beautifully. This palette will absolutely do that for you. Unfortunately, I have such a huge collection that I never reach for this ever. These shades are ones I have a million billion times over in different palettes that I reach for more often, or have more colors and more variety for me. So I will be passing this one along to family and friends. I know my mom or sister would love this color story, and the formula is so beautiful. But I just know myself, I'm not going to reach for this, and I just feel like I'm wasting it keeping it in my collection when I could pass this along to someone who could really use it. The other palette was the Latte palette. Again, beautiful, simple color story. I actually have this all over my eyes today. But again, this is a palette that I never reach for. I have these colors a million times over in my collection, and I was planning on passing this one along as well. That is until today. Creating this look that I've created with this palette, I don't think I can move this along. I feel like I should, because I feel like I could create this look with another palette, but this formula is so beautiful. There's not a single bit of setting spray mixed in with any of these shimmers. They apply just like you see them on the eye right out of the pan. It is such a beautiful, beautiful formula. And I actually kind of want to have a reference point for bareMinerals shadows and their formula in case there are new releases that you guys have questions about. I also can see me bringing this traveling. It's not one I've ever traveled with before. I've always pulled my Double Entendre palette, which would be kind of similar to this one, but I'm having a really hard time parting with this one because I really enjoyed this eye look and I really enjoyed this formula. So I'm actually going to be saving this one for me. Gonna live another day. Our last products from bareMinerals are our lip products. I want to start with the glosses. I have the gloss in Major, and I also have the gloss in Birthday Babe. This is their Marvelous Moxie Gloss, and this is the Gen Nude Gloss. So I'm going to be passing the Gen Nude Gloss along because I have a bajillion glosses and I found this formula to be very sticky. In terms of the Marvelous Moxie, I also found this formula to be pretty sticky, but this is one of my new friend Gigi's favorite glosses, and I want to be able to give it a little bit more of a shot because she loves it so much. I want to see if I can love it too. In terms of the liquid lipsticks, I'm a little on the fence. So I kept reaching for this one in Cray, which is a little bit more like close to the color I have on today. This is actually a Huda Bullet lipstick because I just didn't really care for this formula very much. But I didn't feel like I really gave all of the colors a lot of a chance. I basically just kept reaching for this one. And while this formula is so moussey and creamy, and I love that, it may be my lips, it may be my specific tubes of liquid lipstick, maybe these are just past their prime, but I was noticing so many strings on my lips, which was really unfortunate. I know this is such a great formula. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's just mine. I don't know if it just doesn't work for my skin with my dry lips. I'm not sure, but more likely than not, I'm going to be passing these along as well. I do want to try at least like a lip swatch of each of these just to see if all of the formulas are as like stringy as this one was. This just happened to match most of my makeup looks. A lot of these are kind of more purpley mauve, and I was going for more like brown warm tone stuff, so I don't know if I'll be keeping these. I'd say 95% chance these are going to get decluttered, but if I can find one or two where the color looks great on me and the formula is nice and not so stringy on my lips, I may hang on to one or two of these, but I think I'm going to be mainly decluttering these most likely. I just have a ton of lip products that don't do that to my lips. So I think I would be more likely to reach for those than I would these. But we'll give them a try before I completely decide. So I hope this information was helpful for you. I'm sorry to have kind of rushed through these products. I kind of just really chose this brand because I knew that there might be some things I would want to pass along or at least get more use out of. As it was, these things were kind of just sitting in my collection undisturbed, and I wanted to get my thoughts on them. So I hope that this information was helpful. I'm excited to be able to pass on some products to my friends and family. I'm excited to be able to have a little bit more room in my collection, and I'm excited to have discovered some products that I can see myself reaching for a lot. I love you all so much, and thank you so much for being here. Until the next video, bye.